Listen, education and politics. You need to know more about them. Entertainment and these things. You need to know more about them.
Give it up for Tegan.
Welcome to the Tegan Show. Today's episode is all about resilient women. There's perseverance, which is the ability to achieve a long-term goal. And then there's grit. Passion meets perseverance. And today, we will have two different stories of two different women who believe that they are gritty. For those of you that aren't aware, grit is the ability to have passion, have focus, and to stand through adversity. The likes of Malala Yousafzai, who have championed for education in Pakistan, to the likes of Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, who have talked about feminism, to even Oprah Winfrey, who got fired from her first job at 23 and built an entire media empire. And also the likes of J.K. Rowling, who, by the way, got rejected about 12 times. What does it mean to be gritty? According to Angela Duckworth, being gritty means living life like a marathon and not like a sprint. Join us today as we look at two different women and their perspectives and their experiences of what it means to be resilient, gritty, but also have focus and have a lived experience in the 21st century. These are their stories. These are amazing women. One's a celebrity, one's an everyday woman, and we'll talk about it only on Tegan. We will be right back. It's all about her story, and my next guest definitely has a story to tell. You may know her from movies like Elevator Baby, Finding Me, and even Prophetess. Please welcome Blessing Obasi Enze. Blessing, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Last season, your husband was here.
Right.
Now you're here. So it's a full picture.
Yes.
Blessing.
Yes.
By all accounts, you are the 21st century woman.
Absolutely.
What does being a strong woman mean to you in this day and age?
For me, being a strong woman is doing you. Basically, because society will want to dictate or decide who you should be, but if you're able to stand on what you want to do and just be there and go for it, whether it makes sense or not, whether anyone believes in you or not, that's a strong woman.
Have you always had it easy as a woman, or would you say that it hasn't been even compared to men?
So, not necessarily having it very easy as a woman. No, not really. Because as a woman, some people just think you can get things done, or you want to get your way, you want to get your way through something by the back door. Mm-hmm. And then when that's literally not why you are there, mm-hmm. Every other person is doing this. So, why do you think you're so special? Yeah, pretty much. But sometimes also being a woman helps, You just come in and give a smile. And if you're able to, really make sense of, if you come for a presentation or you want to sell an idea, mm-hmm. and if you're really able to, sell an idea that makes absolute sense, yeah, sometimes as a woman, it helps, but not all the time.
So I was so surprised to realize that you are big on production, like you're a producer.
Yes.
I was going through credits and I was like, wait, a producer? How does that work? How do you transition from acting to producing?
So I think I pretty much started more with producing, but a lot of people don't know that. So when I started acting, go for auditions here and there. You know how you go to work and then you don't get paid. Sometimes you shoot for a week, you don't get paid. They promise you and then it never happens. So I started to work with, I worked with Moses Iwang as a director. I'd worked with him behind the camera, and I pretty much functioned in all departments apart from the camera department and sound, maybe. I know I did a bit of locations, logistics, continuity, and all of that. And over time, when it was such a hassle getting the roles, and I've been to a couple of auditions when some very prominent directors, I mean, I don't call their names, had said to me, you say you're too black as you are. Yeah, you're not fine to be in front of the camera. Yeah. So I made up my mind that I was going to produce my own films. I was going to showcase myself and literally shove myself down their throat.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's how, I resigned from my day job. I used to work I'm not going to call anywhere, I used to work in like a very big oil company. And so I set out to produce my first film, Clueless.
How do you go from just saying, you know what, this is what I want? Because what I find from several women that I know is that there's usually, I know this is what I want, or maybe I'm not so sure. How are you so certain that this is what you want?
I think, I would agree that it's a gift of the Holy Spirit, because usually I don't just decide, I want to do this and I can do it on my own accord. Of course not. You know, I'm praying, I'm asking God, I'm trusting God, and I'm also asking God for signs. So sometimes God does not really tell you, yes, go and do this, go and produce that film, but God gives you some signs, and if you have a relationship with God, you would identify those signs and know that, okay, if God's giving me a sign, He's telling me, I got you, so keep going. And literally, that's what, I mean, when I produced my first film, it cost me 8 million. And at the time, I didn't even have up to 1 million naira, really. But I was really just, and, you know, I did a short film with the small money that I had. And so I wrote a lot of proposals and I put in, you know, then CD was a thing, unlike now, you know. So I put in a CD in all of the envelopes. So that's how I went around submitting to people, calling people, all the rich people that I knew, even if you're not very rich, as long as you have some money, you know. I did that, reached out to my neighbor at the time, you know, person who stayed in the main building where I was staying at the PQ. And just like that. And apparently I'd been speaking to him for over a year. And I guess I'm sure he might be like, this one they're just going to follow film people. What does this one know? You know, and I told him that. I said, and I sent it to him. After he saw the short film, he's like, you know what, let's talk. And 2 days later, he gave me a check of 2 million naira. Yeah, so I just knew that was God's sign saying, you know what, this is the part, keep going. And in like a month, literally, the money came from people. Wow. Yeah.
In this day and age, can you produce a movie for 8 million naira, or that's not enough at all?
Yes, you can.
For Netflix?
No.
What's the minimum range you need? Okay, give us 10 higher or lower than 10M? 20M? 30M?
Maybe from 30M.
30M?
Upwards. That's like minimum.
So how do some movies end up being on Netflix and others don't? Is it like a committee that takes submissions?
So, I mean, for every producer or every production company, before you set out to make a film, you already have an idea of where your film wants to go to. So if you're making a film for, say, TV, you know, like TV, you don't need to spend that much. That's the fact, you know. And there are equipments that you will not get. You can probably just use Blackmagic 6K and get your job done. You know, pretty much you care for about the kind of actors. I mean, the range of actors. When I mean range, like A-list and all that. You're not going to call an R&D for a TV film. Yeah. I mean, that's your entire budget and someone's access fee. So, but if you're making a film for Netflix, you know that this is your target market. Your equipment, everything will be different. So you already know from the kind of story. You're not going to make a story that you have to burn a car, flip car, do this, and it's a TV film. Are you a joke? You know, but when you want to make a Netflix film or for big screen, you set out to do it. Even from your story, we can tell. And of course, it's a lot more to even achieve those things. Those are projects that, I mean, maybe just equipment fee can be money to make like 40 films.
Wow.
Exactly.
We always hear of stories of a lot of our popular actresses who face like ethical concerns with sort of like knowing when to stand firm with their morals, or knowing whether they should, for lack of better terms, lay on their back. As a woman who's been in this industry for quite some time, have you ever like come across those moments whereby somebody tells you that, Blessing, if you don't do this, I'm not going to cast you in my role?
Yeah.
How often has that happened in your...
So I remember one very significant one many years ago. And I mean, I was going to say amazingly, but I don't think that's a good thing to say. But apparently, I mean, this same person literally doesn't even exist in the industry anymore. You know, yeah. And I know that he said to me, I'd worked with him for about, for 2 weeks somewhere in Corridor, you know, with popular faces. And I think we paid 500 naira each after 2 weeks. And he was like, oh, so I've done a couple of, you know how you go for auditions, you pick for like extra waka pass and all of that. So I've done a couple of, you know, those, because it was like a big deal then, the calling of his films now, you know, and he had reached out to me and said, oh, I want to help you. I like your tenacity. I like your this, I like your that, you know. Let's see. I was really excited. My break is here. Yeah. And then I'd come to see him somewhere at Winners. That used to be where we come for audition results at the time. It's in Surrey. And he said to me, oh, I should meet him at so room. I'm like, sir, what's happening there? He said, that's what your mates do. You're not even lucky. I'm not telling you to pay for the hotel. I'm just telling you to go there and wait for me. So me, I was going to cry and begging him like, sir, please, sir, I cannot do this thing, please. Sir, I'm begging you. The next thing, he slapped me. Yeah. And there are people there. Yeah. I mean, of course, some of them. So I just think that's why people should try as much as possible. Just try not to be a terrible person or support terrible things, you know, when they happen. Because most of those people, they're pretty much very irrelevant right now in this industry. They were like big deals then, I promise you. They were like big deals. I know the only person who had fought for me at the time when I called him and cried to him was Desmond Elliott. And he was so livid. You know, he scolded the person really bad. Called out all the people that I told him were there and scolded them really bad. And that's like the only person that's like, this is terrible, how dare you? You know, so yeah, I faced I was really young, I really wanted, and this was like a big director at the time. So, I mean, that there was enough reason to say, let me just, since that's what everybody is doing. And we really knew that's what, I mean, some people were doing, that's the truth. But it's what it is, you don't want to do. I mean.
We'll be right back with more of Blessing Obasi Enze. It's Tegan. We have a fantastic, amazing, extraordinary show for you. Who is the king or queen of Afro?
Hi, my name is Blessing Obasi. Keep watching the Tegan show.
Hello there, my name is Damilola Ogunsi, also known as Goldfish.
Do we need hope? Or do we need hope and actually getting the job done? One place, one show, more fun, more dance, more laughs. It only happens on Tegan! Okay, Blessing, welcome back.
Thank you.
I have to keep it real with you. When you married Stan, a lot of people were talking everywhere. You know, there's a pressure for women to marry early. You already had a career going on. You married Stan. There's, to a degree, an age gap. But at the same time, how did you say, you know what? Who cares what people are saying? That's him, or that's my man. I'm going to stick by him. Why, like, what made you sort of like do it on your own terms when you're ready? Because so many girls really fall to that pressure.
I mean, it's just simple. I know that God's time is best for everyone. I mean, there's a set time by God, and that's the best timing. So I was literally in my rest, waiting for his right timing. Yeah, that's it. And when Stan came, I stayed, and like, you know what, we die here. I'm like, okay. Let's do this.
So,
I think people should just ignore societal pressure. People will talk, family will talk. If you're tired, shut them out.
That's that.
Shut them out. Live your life. They'll be fine.
That's that. Okay, back to you now. So, this whole thing of can a woman have it all? Can a woman have a wonderful career, be booked around the world, have a loving, devoted husband?
Yeah.
Do you feel like women can have it all in this day and age?
Absolutely, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Why not?
Not all men can have it all. I mean, some area of your life is probably, no, or...
Oh, you can actually have it all if you plan properly.
Okay.
You can have it all. I mean, I have a great career.
Yeah.
My husband does. We're married.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know people say, oh, but you don't have kids yet. You don't know how to maneuver when the kids are there. That's why we have nannies that you pay heavily.
True.
Mean, yeah. It's just like I'm a producer. I plan when I want to film, when I want to produce, and when I want to actually act in the film. So if I'm nursing, I'll do more producing, and I'm still going to be very relevant. And when I'm done nursing for a bit, and then nanny is now doing the job and following me around, then I come back in front of the screen. It's absolutely possible.
Fair enough.
When I'm doing that, I'm killing it.
Let's talk about Nollywood female leads. We've had so many that have paved the way for, several crop of them now, from Genevieve to Motola, Rita, name it. Are we going to see a powerful movie or series like The Woman King being led by a female Nollywood actress in the future?
I'm very positive that there are probably plans in the works right now for something like that.
Wow.
Yes, I'm positive. So I think she brace up. She brace up.
Now, talking about plans in the work, what projects are you working on that you can share with us?
Okay, so I have a couple of them. There's Tehila. That's a film I did with Majid and Stanze. And there's this Mommy Wap, produced and directed by Biodun Steven, with Uzora Rukwe, Iyabo Joe, and a couple of other actors. And I mean, those are the ones I can mention for now. Most of the time we have to...
In the works.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Before we go, we know that women are very hardworking, very resilient, and after a long day, they deserve to treat themselves to something. Absolutely. So now we're going to play a game of this or that. Okay. Are you ready? Are you truly ready? Let's see how you like to splurge. Okay. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Sneakers or boots?
Sneakers.
Instagram or Facebook?
IG.
Ooh, Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Let's see, football or basketball?
None.
Now, the last one is a very tricky one. Series or a movie? Ooh.
Series.
Okay.
Because series is like spirits.
Okay.
Literally, like you don't want to
stop.
I mean, you have where you're going to, whether I want to see what happens in the next episode. After this episode, I'm just going to go out. When I come back, I'll continue. That's the line. You stop. Like a movie, 2 hours, you're done.
Before you go, Blessing, what do you feel that you will be remembered for years and years to come?
Helping people become. That's something I'm passionate about. Giving people opportunities I didn't get. Deliberate about giving people opportunities. Yes, and helping the girl child become.
Everyone, clap it up for Blessing. We'll be right back. This is the Tegan Show. Follow us on all our social media handles at Tegan Talk Show. Let's dance, let's have fun. Join the conversation today, only on Tegan. Women make up the vast majority of daytime TV viewers. That is why it is so important for you to hear their stories. Her story by her in her own words. Her truth and more, only on Tegan. Join the conversation today and let's talk about it. This and more can only be seen exclusively on The Tegan Show.
Hi, my name is Shosonya Fumilola. I'm a businesswoman and I'm happily married with 3 kids. I have 2 boys and a girl, and I've been married for 16 years now. Thank God. And I'm sharing my resilience story on Tega's show. Well, as I've rightly said to people, young girls that are coming into marriage, most of them prepare for wedding, they don't prepare for marriage. And before you know it, after the wedding, you find out that there are more to it in marriage. Forgiveness, tolerance, patience. If you don't go into marriage with those things, you are nowhere to be found. Yes, in my marriage, infidelity came on my husband's part. Every man born on earth, they are polygamy by nature. Whether you accept it or not, that is the way the nature created them. We as a woman, we have a role to play. Yeah, a lot of people will say, no, I can't take this. I have to leave the marriage. I have to do this, I have to do that. You have to overlook so many things, which I did in my marriage. There is no perfect marriage anywhere. So I don't advise people that you deceiving yourself and saying, yes, this man is perfect. I can bet you there is no perfect man on earth. There is something between his legs. So whether you like it or not as a woman, you have to face it. Forgiveness is the ultimate. Is the ultimate act of love. You let go, you move on. Fine. My trust was betrayed. My love was betrayed. But you know, one thing I'm sure of is that as a woman, I have a focus and I have where I'm going. And I even have a better place where I want my children to be. When I see my children happy, I so much love it. So when it comes to infidelity, I manage my husband. There's so many things I looked away. I pretend as if I don't see because I want to move forward. Fine. A lot of people say there's an infidelity on the part of my husband. I won't take this. I won't take that. I want to beg you as a woman, learn to forgive and let go. And as a woman, make sure you are the architect of your own happiness. Love yourself. When you love yourself, everything will fall in place. You love yourself, know the purpose God created you to this earth, and I bet you, God will see us through. Thank you very much.
Fumilola, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So you have had a very interesting marriage. I see that there's been cheating, there's been diseases, there's been infidelity. Why do you stick through your marriage?
Yes, thank you very much. Let me start with, I want to appreciate God for where I am today. And I really bless God for making me a strong woman. I'll call myself a strong woman, really. And I married a good man. Yes, I married a good man, and infidelity came on his part. When the infidelity came, I was like, when I was going through depression, loneliness, when you love someone so much and all your totality is on him, and at the end of the day you feel cheated and he betrayed your trust, there was a time I almost lost my mind. But one thing I realized is that nobody can make you happy except you. If you want to live long and if you want to be happy, especially to your kids, you need to love yourself as a woman. Before any other thing, you need to love yourself. We find out a lot of people, because of unforgiving spirits and all that, they walk away in their marriage and all that. But another thing I realize is that love is forgiveness, and forgiveness is love. Forgiveness is an ultimate act of love. You understand? So I just face a mirror one day and I look at myself And I said to myself, today we stop the loneliness, depression. I think I can see through. I know where I'm going. I was determined to move forward and move on. Like I said, I married a good man, and you know, and one other thing I realized is that men are polygamy by nature. Whether you like it or not, as a woman, they are polygamy by nature. So all those things I keep to consideration, and I said to myself, look beyond what you are seeing now and concentrate on where you are going. You have a vision and you have to determine on where you are going. And I see there is light after the tunnel.
So you have a vision, you are focused,
Yeah.
but you still stand by your husband.
Yes. Like I said, he's a good man.
He's a good man, but him being good overshadows the cheating, even if it's numerous times.
Yes, sometimes. You know, I don't know, we've been in, this is my 16 years of marriage.
Okay.
And I know him very, very well. And me still staying with him, like I said, he's a good man.
But don't you feel that you staying with him and keeping up through these years indirectly encourages him to cheat? Because if you don't give me an ultimatum, why will I change my behavior?
Like I said, we had a crisis at some point. It's not as if it was going on that way. We had crisis, and like I said to myself, I want to make myself happy and I want to live long.
So this is a bit hard for me. The reason why it's hard for me is, one, there's a tension going. I'm hearing the word myself, but I'm also hearing you in the core of who you are being sort of like attached to a man. So are you prioritizing yourself or are you prioritizing the man?
Well, let me start by this. When the infidelity happens, what I consider most was the relationship between my husband and the children. You understand? And I felt that if I should leave the marriage, he doesn't have a problem with me, with the children, or even his responsibility at home. You know, there is no domestic violence at all. There was no domestic violence, if not because of the infidelity. Though as a woman, it's not easy to go through that kind of thing. As a woman. You know, like I said, this thing has to do with your own personal choice. There are a lot of people that can't even take a bit of it. They can't stand it. This has to be you, yourself, what you want for yourself.
What makes you so assured that he's not cheating on you as of now?
Do you know at this point in time, I don't even care.
But you're standing by him.
Yes, because he's a good man.
Okay, so a good man is a good man regardless of if he cheats or not, according to you.
Yes.
So he could cheat with like 25,000 men.
You see, there's some women that left their home and become a single mother now. And they are doing well. Though it's not easy, but they are doing well. Like I said, you have your own choice. My choice is to stay and fight for my marriage. And fight for the love I have. The first thing I did was to forgive him. Because if you don't forgive, the pain still lingers. And, you know, like one of my mentors will say something, my pastor, Pastor Foley, he will say, at every pain or every challenges you face in life, God is taking you to the next step or the next stage of life. Before the infidelity came, I was in my comfort zone without doing anything. I was not doing anything, really. It's not as if I was not working, but I was not as active as this. So when the infidelity came, I realized who I was. That was comes to success and hard work. Do you understand? I was so comfortable in my comfort zone that just, you relax, that nothing was happening and all that. And at the end of the day, when I find out that there are a lot of things involved that come, you need to work on yourself. You need to be a better person. And you need to pursue your vision and be determined.
We'll be back with more of Fumulawa. On the next Tegan, we have
Wale Ojo,
and
Senator Comedian.
let's talk about male resilience and what it means to be a man in the 21st century. Fumulawa,
Yes.
how strong would you say you are?
A very strong woman.
How do you measure that strength?
A woman that is determined. A focused woman. A patient woman. And a God-fearing woman.
Do you love yourself?
As I do.
Does loving yourself mean that you settle for less?
At all.
So why? Okay, what would it say? You've married for 16 years, right? 16
Yes.
years. Can you see yourself walking out of that marriage,
No.
regardless of what happens? You are in it.
Yes, because I have to face the challenges that are there.
You know, there's
I need to
some.
fight for my marriage. And I am doing it right now. And I'm still in it.
Do you think that your husband will equally fight for you?
Well, at this point, I still don't care if he's fight for me.
But do you think he will fight for you?
Yes, I know.
So if he's fighting for you, why would he have cheated, or why could he possibly cheat?
Like I said, I also have my own role. We just tag men infidelity. Sometimes even we women, we have a role to play. You understand? There are some certain things that leads to another thing. You understand? There is no perfect marriage. Do you
Fair
understand
enough.
me?
Mm-hmm.
And there is no marriage that there is no storm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there is no storm.
Mm-hmm.
It is the way you see it and the way you handle it yourself. If you want people to handle your marriage for you, they will. Do you understand? The way you want it, that is the way it will be.
If your husband came to you and told you that he wants a second or third or fourth wife, would you still say? No, but let's go there.
Well,
Said he'll fight for you now.
that's a question for Nadia.
Oh, so now it's a different story.
That's a different story entirely. So let us go there.
This is a very interesting conversation because
Yeah.
all throughout this episode we are talking about female resilience and women, being, resilient, and most people won't even say what you're saying, in a public conversation, and I find it interesting that you are still standing by him regardless. It's like him, the kids, and then your happiness is like third level.
Well, my happiness is the ultimate because
It doesn't sound like it's the ultimate. It sounds like you are saying it, but you're not envisioning your happiness as priority. Because I could survey 20 women that I know right now that are married. If I ask them, would you still stay with your man if he cheated or he cheats on the regular or has reasons to, make you suspicious? They would say no.
that is why I said it is the way you see it.
So how do you see it?
I see my life good and my marriage worked out.
Your marriage worked out.
Yes.
So now you feel comfortable in the fact that he is committed to you all the way.
He's so committed to me.
But then I asked you earlier if you are certain that he's not cheating, and you said a different story. on its own?
Like I said, I don't want to go into that. I don't want to go into that detail about that. But one thing I know, and I do tell women, is that if I hear about infidelity and all that, like Pastor Adejumo Funke Adejumo always say something. She said, there's some people that will come and say, my husband cheated on me, my husband did this. I was like, okay, cry if you want to cry. Your husband cheated on you, okay, cry. Do anything you want to do. Does that one stop your life? Does that one stop you from going forward?
Does that also stop you from walking away?
It's my choice.
Do you have a daughter by any chance?
Yeah.
God forbid, okay? If she was in the situation like you, what would you tell her? The same thing?
Well, like I said, it's a choice. And I don't pray for that for my daughter.
God forbid.
God forbid. But me, I'm a child of God. And I'm a Christian to the core, in quote. And do you know one thing I realized is that, we have different perspective on anything that happens to us. But one thing I realized is that no matter your race on earth, you will finish it in heaven. Whether you forgive your husband, whether you walk away, whatsoever you do, you will end it here. And you're not taking it out. That is where forgiveness came in. It is not as if I am pleased with that, or I am happy with it, or that is what God wants. Even God is against adultery, And even in the Bible, God said, if there is no way, or you can't take it, there is a space for separation. You can go your separate ways. If you can cope with it, you stay.
What Bible verse?
I think it's in... sorry, I didn't remember.
No worries, moving on.
So, yes, there's a place for separation. Yes, it's there. I've forgotten the verse.
Earlier on, you mentioned that, when it happened, it was a time for you to build yourself career-wise. So what are you up to career-wise?
Yes, I'm a successful businesswoman. Now, then before the infidelity, like I always say, every child that the parent gave birth to, you have your own glory to fulfill. Whether you are married or not. We women, when we got married, we came with our glory to our husband's house. When we were small, our parents would say, okay, what do you want to become? I want to become a doctor, I want to become a lawyer. You find out that even after marriage, a lot of women jeopardize their vision. And they don't know who they really are. Again, because they are married. So when my own came in, I told you earlier on that I was in my comfort zone. So when I came in, I realized that I need to work harder. You need to do something for yourself. You need to look good. I was not looking good really then. Like, you need to look good for yourself. You make yourself happy. And do you know, even with that, my marriage changed. That is why I said sometimes it's also in the part of women. Do you understand? Some women may come out and say this, hey, my husband this, my husband did that. Do you know sometimes we don't pay attention to even ourselves, our own faults that make that thing happen or that make that marriage crash. All we just do is that, he cheated on me. What about you? What did you do? What did you contribute to that?
It's in a way, it's like, so I'm hearing you, but I'm also not hearing you. Because it sounds like there's also a blame being apportioned to the woman. Before we go, I want to ask you, does your husband support your business? You said you're a businesswoman.
Yes.
To what extent does he support your business?
80%.
Okay, fair enough. How do you know his schedule? Do you know, like, if I said, by the way, Funola, your husband is somewhere, would you believe me? Or do you know that for sure he's at work at 5 p.m. or at home at 6 p.m.? Do you know his schedule?
Yes, I know.
So you could like track him down if you wanted to track him down.
Yes.
Okay. Have there been any room for you to be suspicious in the past week?
The past weeks?
Yeah.
Not at all.
In the past month?
No.
Past year?
Past years?
Yeah, past years.
Yes, past years.
Fumilola,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story. Quite an interesting story. Different perspectives. Is it a bit confusing for some people? Probably. But again, it's your life, it's your choice. And I hope that regardless of where you are during the day or night, you can be happy.
Yeah.
And you can say, you know what, I made this choice and am okay with the choice I made.
Yeah.
All the best to you and your family.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back with more of Tegan. Resilience. Every woman defines that word differently. A big thank you to Fumilola and to Blessing Obasi Enze. Keep the conversation going. Women and girls out there, keep on being resilient. Your voice matters and your story must be heard. I'll see you next time on Tegan.
I go make with the right information. I go make knowledge where they okay. I go make I no go no get it. I no go some lele. I no go no get it. I go double my